Welcome to the Halloween craft art lesson. These are the materials you're going to need in order to do this lesson with Sam and myself. You are going to need scissors, a pencil with an eraser, either liquid glue or a glue stick. If you have liquid glue, I would recommend that. If you just have the glue stick, that will work just as well. So I'm going to give Sam his scissors. Take mine off, everything else off here. And these are the pieces of construction paper you will need. You have a smaller black and orange piece of construction paper. And then you have 2 orange and 2 black that are exactly the same size. This is 6 by 9. And I believe these ones right here are 4 or 4.5 by 9. Okay? And then your purple, your large piece of purple construction paper, like that. Okay, so go grab these materials and come on back when you have it all, and we will get started. Press the play button, and we're gonna get going on our craft for Halloween. All right, so I'm gonna leave those out. I am going to read what I always read. Oh, Sammy, would you like to read it? You want me to read it? Sure. Okay. I'm going to show you Sam's workstation's all ready to go. He has his supplies out, and he's ready to start the lesson with us. How you doing, Sam?
Good.
Awesome. Okay, so I want you guys to remember this while we're going through this lesson. Always try your best. If you get frustrated, take a deep breath, count to 10, take another deep breath, and try again. Number 3, everyone's art will turn out differently. Your artwork is uniquely yours. And number 4, art is not perfect.
There's a lot of projects during October.
Yeah, this is our final one for October. We're doing a craft. It's a little bit less involved than the other ones. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, take all your construction paper and move it off to the side. And I am going to show you what we're going to be creating. Not all of these. You are going to do your own. I have 4 examples for you, and we're going to be practicing symmetry and mirror image, okay? So you see the colors that we have are just going to be black and orange. So we're going to basically be using our math skills of mirror images to create a symmetric jack-o'-lantern. So whatever is on the left is going to mirror it on the right. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take a large piece. So here are all of our pieces, right? These are the smaller pieces. There's just 2 of them, the black and the orange. Take these 2 and put them to the side. These are the smaller ones. So Sam, go ahead and do that. Find your small black and your small orange and put the small black and the small orange to the side. There is just 1 of each. Now, it's really important that you're paying attention and you're doing what I'm asking you to do, because if you don't, then you will run out of paper, because I was very strategic in the amount of paper that I gave you so that we don't waste. So small black, small orange, put it off to the side. And I think I have said that now at least 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 times. So now all you have left are your 2 black and your 2 orange that are the bigger size. So take 1 of the black, take 1 of the orange, and we are going to position them so that they're right smack in the middle of our purple paper. Now, it's up to you if you want the black on the left or the right, and if you want the orange on the left or the right. You choose right now. So yours is going to look just like this. And we are going to glue these down to start with. So take your glue bottle, open it up, and I want you to remember that a little bit of glue goes a very long way. So we only need to put a little bit of glue on the perimeter, what lines our, another math word, perimeter. We're going to line our black paper with a tiny little bit of glue. I'm not going to go all the way actually to the edge of my paper, because then the glue would squirt out. But I'm going to go about this much. And am I squirting a lot or a little, Sam?
A little.
A little. You just need a little. Okay? So I've pretty much gone the perimeter. Is it open? Might not be open. Here, let's see. sometimes there's gook on the top.
Oh yeah, it's open.
Okay. All right, or you might be using your glue stick, but go ahead and line the perimeter of your black. And now this is up to your judgment of what your eyes see as centered. You're gonna put your black and your orange right next to each other, centered on your purple paper. So centered means right in the middle. You're gonna center them and you're gonna put them side by side. So you're gonna glue your black down and then you're gonna glue your orange down. Like I said, if you want your black on your left or your right, it's your decision which side you put it on. So I put a little bit of glue on the perimeter. Okay, so you can move on to your orange. And I'm gonna get a tissue paper because if it squeezes out, then it's gonna be a goopy goppy mess. Okay? So the point of just doing it, Sam, look, the point of just doing it on the perimeter instead of all the way to the edges is so it doesn't get all goopy and goppy. Okay? So I'm gonna get a tissue for Sam and myself because we might need to use that. So now with the orange, Sam, I want you to try to do it without any glue squirting out. So can you do the strategy that I just asked? Thank you, awesome. And you don't need any more than that.
What about that little X in the middle?
Nope, you don't need the X in the middle. You don't need it. Okay, flip it over. Because do you see what happens here? It gets super wet. All right, so I'm gonna flip it over. And I have mine centered. Sam has his centered, and they're touching each other. Good job, Sam. So I'm gonna show you Sam's. He's cleaning up his edges. It looks beautiful, beautiful job. His is centered, mine is centered, and then
Practically centered for both of us because that's what we think is centered.
yeah, this is what our eyes see as centered. And look, they're touching all the way. The seam where they meet, it's touching all the way together. So if your glue hasn't dried yet, make sure yours meet right in the middle. And we are ready to create a jack-o'-lantern. So I want you to kind of look at these. I want you to check out Joey's. I have another example here. Okay?
J-O-E-Y.
You can pause the video to study it more, or you can pause the video to study these more. I'm going to ask the teachers to put this on Google Classroom if possible so that you can look at these. And now we're going to start creating our jack-o'-lantern. So I want you to put your paper up above. So can you do that? So I just put mine above, Sammy's putting his above, and we are going to take our pencil, and now we're gonna grab our, we're gonna grab our next two big pieces of orange and black. So are we gonna grab the big ones or the small ones, Sam? Big ones. So these small ones are still off to the side. So Sammy grabbed his black and orange that are big. I'm grabbing my black and orange that are big. And now what we're gonna do is we are going to put our orange on top, and we are going to draw half of the pumpkin. So we're gonna draw half the stem way up here. We're gonna start way up here. Before you start though, Sam, I wanna talk about spacing, okay?
Wait a second. When we're cutting, shouldn't we like do it on one? And then when we're cutting, we can put it together. And when we cut, they both get cut.
Exactly.
And then we can
Yes, that is exactly what we're gonna do, okay? So, you know what though? That might be a little tricky for some people. Can we hold off on that? Let's draw it first, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna draw it first. And I want you to start way at the top. So before you start, Sam, can you watch me? So I'm not gonna start actually at the top. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of distance so that there is a top above my pumpkin, Joey's had his sit all the way on the bottom. So I'd like there to be maybe a top and maybe even a little bit of a bottom, but you know, something where we see the difference. So watch me first and then you go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna do a stem and maybe my stem is gonna go out like this and in a little bit, but maybe yours is just straight across and straight down. Here are some other examples. This one is it goes up and then down. So you have a lot of different things you can do for the stem. And then you're going to create a large pumpkin, half of a pumpkin, but you're going to use this whole.
I know, I'm using the whole thing.
Okay, I'm asking you to wait until I'm done and then you start, okay? Thank you. You're going to use this whole space. I want you to almost touch the edge out here because you want to have this whole area to design the jack-o'-lantern face. Do you see how these pumpkins almost touch the edge all the way out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want it to be big so that you can do a big face. You can have it jaggedy up top and then circle around and jaggedy down below. You can just have it circular all the way around. You can have it a little bit of, like a little tiny little bit of a ripple and then come around. You can do something like this where it's skinny up top and then bigger, fatter down below. So you decide how you want your shape of your pumpkin. And go ahead and lightly, oh gosh, sorry, you're not even seeing my stem. Lightly draw it. I think I can move this back like that.
Yeah, most of the teachers have clear ones of those.
I know, totally. Okay, so I'm gonna do mine maybe like this, and maybe it curves in and out like that, and then I'm gonna bring it all the way in. Okay, and I got really close to the top, I got really close to the edge, and then I got really close to the bottom. So make your pumpkin nice and big so you have a lot of space to do the face.
Space for the face.
Space for the face. Okay, now Sammy had a really clever idea. He said, I'm going to line up my black with my orange and I am going to cut them at the same time all the way around.
Because I mean, you can't just like match, like draw the same exact thing right here and cut them as equals.
Yeah, that's not going to work. And the other thing you can do, if you're not comfortable cutting two pieces of paper at the same time, you can make a stencil. So I'm going to do that so I can show them. Sam, you go ahead and do what you're comfortable with. Sammy's going to take his scissors right now and he's going to cut both papers at the same time all the way around. Okay? So, oh, I didn't get myself scissors. Excuse me, hang on. Oops. All right, I have my scissors. Pause at any point. Now I'm going to do it so that I create a stencil. If you're not comfortable cutting both at the same time, because you only get one shot at this, right, Sam?
Mm-hmm. You can just get more paper.
No, I didn't. Everybody has this amount of paper that I just sent home. Oh. So I'm going to cut out my orange. You go ahead and follow along with me if this is what you're doing. If you're not comfortable cutting two papers out at the same time, sometimes that's hard on our finger muscles to cut two pieces of paper at the same time. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on for me because I'm going to show them how to do the stencil.
Kind of.
So now I have my pumpkin here and I can use it to create a stencil. So I'm going to show you Sam's pumpkin. He is at this point. So he made a pretty big pumpkin. Now, Sammy, if you want to get the excess where you cut off here, you put them both back together. Mm-hmm. See this where it's sticking up where you cut it? Mm-hmm. You can put them both back together like that, and you can, you can come around and get the little fringes that are. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That are sticking out. I just kind of helped Sammy get some stuff that was off. Okay, and then I would take your eraser and erase the lines, but don't erase it on top of that because there's a lot of glue, and so you might hurt the paper underneath. Okay, so I have my stencil. If you're doing a stencil, then follow along with me. If you're waiting, I appreciate you just waiting and watching this step to see how a stencil is created. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna just trace around my orange pumpkin. I'm putting the hand that I don't write with, I'm putting pressure on the orange pumpkin, and I'm tracing all the way around the orange pumpkin using my pencil onto the black paper. And now I have that exact, it's hard to see on black, but you can see I have my lines. And now I'm going to cut out.
Go over it with black Sharpie.
I think they can see it.
I was joking.
You were joking, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have my black and you're gonna have your black. I'm gonna have my orange, you're gonna have your orange. Sammy's all ready. If you are waiting for us, thank you, I appreciate your patience. If you are still working and you need more time, press the pause button. And you see how I have pencil marks here and pencil marks there? Well, I can either erase them. Let's see how this is gonna play out. I can go like this. I can turn this one over and the pencil marks go away. But I can't turn this one over and make the pencil marks go away. So if I have pencil marks, I'm gonna need to use my eraser to erase my pencil marks. So I am going to just take a bit of time and I'm gonna gently erase my pencil marks from my black. Take your time, use your eraser, and just gently get the pencil marks off, okay? All right, so I got my pencil marks off, almost. All right, if you need to pause it while you're erasing, go ahead and pause it. Otherwise, I want you to put your orange pumpkin on top of your black background paper. Your black side of your pumpkin on top of your orange side of your paper. Now listen very carefully. Because this is where...
Don't whisper them.
Okay. Don't whisper, he says. Okay, listen very carefully because this is where the gluing can get tricky if you're not paying attention. If I just put the glue on like this, I'm going to be putting it on the wrong side. So turn your orange pumpkin over, the orange half of your pumpkin over, and put the glue along the perimeter of your half of your pumpkin in orange. Not a lot of glue, just a little bit. So I'm gonna wait. Sammy's almost done. I want you to make sure yours looks exactly like this. If it does, keep coming with me and turn it over and glue it down. All right, awesome job. Beautiful. So come on down so it's centered. That's a good enough glue, honey. A little bit of glue goes a long, long way. And there's your little tissue so you can dab it. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing with our black side. If you put the glue right here, there's your tissue, honey. All right, turn your black over on its back. So pause the video if you need to. If you're with me, we're gonna keep going. And we're gonna just do it along the perimeter of this half of the pumpkin. Awesome. A little bit of glue goes a long way. Oops, that's underneath. Is that right?
Oh, wait, that doesn't do anything.
That's fine. And you're not gonna, I need to add any more glue after that, Sam. You're good to go. And then make it so these two pumpkins touch right in the middle. And you have your black pumpkin, half of the pumpkin on your orange half of the pumpkin on your black. So we have done the first two steps, and now we're gonna start designing the shapes of our face. Now we need our smaller orange and our smaller black. So this is all the paper you have. It is plenty of paper. Okay, it is plenty of paper in order to create a mouth, a nose, eyes, and maybe some eyebrows. if you use your paper wisely.
Paper
So,
wisely 10.
let's talk about using our paper wisely. If we start in the middle, that will make it so we are cutting from the side or this side, and now we've lost all this space. So we're going to start at the very top. Everyone put your finger at the very top. And we're just going to use this area right here. We're going to start with the mouth. So let's look at the mouths.
Oh, dang it, I was
So-
doing the eyes.
You want to start with the eyes?
I'm starting with the eyes.
Okay, let's start with the eyes. Look, you have all different types of shapes. We have some triangles here. We have some triangles here that are different. These are right triangles, right?
For some reason, this is bigger.
Oh, that's the way yours was cut. So these are
I thought it
right
was printed.
right angles right here. What is it called when all three angles of the triangle have equal sides?
Triangle.
Can you stop and not go yet? Just wait for us, please. What's it? So have you guys learned this yet? What it's called when all three angles of the triangle are all equal? Okay, that I believe that's called an isosceles triangle. So that is with all three angles being the same. This one is a right triangle. That means it forms a right angle, which is a 90-degree angle there. Here are some circle eyes, some square eyes. Sam, what do you think you're gonna do? What shape? What is that? Rectangle with a square added to it?
Rectangle with a circle added to it.
Oh, is that a circle? Okay.
I
So-
can actually do a triangle to make it way easier.
So I want you to look here. I want you to look here. I want you to make it big enough so that you can cut it and it's big on your pumpkin. Okay? So I am going to do 2 circle eyes. So I'm going to do 1 circle right here and another circle right here. I need to make sure I'm doing them. Oh. What am I thinking? No, I don't need 2. I only need 1.
Unless you want to do 4 eyes.
Unless I would do 4 eyes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I only need to cut 1 eye out. Excuse me. Okay, so you can do the strategy that Sam used, and he put both of the papers together and he cut them at the same time. Or you can do the stencil and then trace it. So I'm going to try to do both of the papers at the same time. I want you to do what you think is going to work for you. Also, you do not have to do one of these simple shapes. Circle, triangle, or square. You can make up your own shape, or you can do a hexagon or an octagon. Okay, so I am going to make it easy on myself, and I'm going to cut it like this so it's a square. So I just cut my eye out, and now all I have to do is work around this.
Yep, got it.
All right, and then the other trick, Sam, that I was going to tell everybody, look, see how I'm not like totally cutting the pencil off? That doesn't really matter because all I have to do is flip it over when I put it on my pumpkin. So here I'm cutting both papers together, and now they're exactly the same. If that is too much for your fingers, then you cut 1 and you trace and you do the stencil like we did over here.
To the
So I got 2 eyes. Now I think I want to do something in the middle of my eyes. You don't have to. If you want to, you can. I think I'm going to do a triangle in the middle of my eyes. So I'm going to do a triangle, but I have to make it smaller in order for it to fit in the middle of my eyes. Okay, so Sam, we're doing the eyes, and then we're going to do eyebrows.
Okay.
So
Wait,
hold
eyebrows.
up.
Do we have to have eyebrows?
You don't have to, but it's kind of fun. Can you hold off and wait, because we want to make sure we have our spacing correct on our construction paper. Thank you for being patient. All right, I'm going to do the center of my eyes with this triangle. So I got orange. I have orange on top of my half, black, and now I have to do the alternate color between those, right? Just like that. Okay, so I have some eyes. Why don't we save the eyebrows until the end? See, make sure we have enough paper. Let's go down to the nose. So you need to decide what kind of a nose you're gonna do. So here we have somebody that did it looks like the shape of a triangle, but that's interesting how they did it. These three don't have any noses. Joey did a nose like that, where it's two triangles next to each other. And so what I'd like you to do, Sam, is work it like a little bit higher up on your paper so that you have enough paper for your mouth.
Stitching it out, see if I want it.
Okay, but I want you to move it up here so you have enough room down here for your mouth, because we're working on spacing, because this is all the paper we have left. We're being strategic with using our paper wisely. All right, so I'm going to do a nose. I think I will just do, and I'm going to do like a half on this side.
I'm not going to do a nose.
You're not going to do a nose? I think I'm going to do a square nose. So, but I only need a half of a square or a rectangle. Let's see how it happens. So if I come out here and I come down here, then I just have half of my rectangle. Okay, so line up your paper on your jack-o'-lantern face to help you so that you could see how big it needs to be. Okay, so I'm gonna cut out my nose. If you're doing a nose, you're working on it right now. I'm gonna actually encourage you to do a nose because then there's gonna be a lot of space on your jack-o'-lantern. Okay, so I have mine cut out, and I have my pencil lines here. So I'm gonna flip them, and here's my jack-o'-lantern nose. It turned out to be a square when I put them together. All right, Sam, what are you thinking for a mouth?
Wait 1 second. I don't.
Look at these mouths. A lot of different ideas here. Look, this one's all curvy. This one's really like up and down, like it looks like a scar.
Oh, I know. It's gonna be a big mouth.
So you need to make sure that you're doing it so that you can cut it out.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be smaller.
Okay, and it needs to be big in order to go across this way and across that way. So why don't you do this strategy with me? Take your paper and put it like this.
Okay.
And then I want you to draw it, yeah, just like that. And then I want you to draw it pretending like it's going out so you can visualize, okay? I think I'm gonna do something like this. I'm gonna go across like this, and then I'm gonna come down like that. So I'd like you to do this strategy with me where you have it,
I measured.
so that you have, so this right here is going to be the seam of it right here. So start it here and go out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but Mom, this is the last part of it.
Well, I'm not understanding what that part is.
Never mind then, I'll just redo it.
Okay, so follow what we're doing. And you're on the seam and you're drawing it out so that you can visualize what it's gonna look like. Okay, thank you. All right, so this is like the outside of my mouth. So I might try, this might help you, honey, if you cut this off so that it's straight across. And there you go. Okay, so I wanna add some teeth to mine. So I think I'm gonna do some teeth like this, maybe. How about that? I'm gonna do two shapes. I have 2 squares and 1 triangle, and then I can do the opposite. I'm gonna kind of do like a pattern. A triangle, a square, and a triangle. Now when I cut it out though, I wanna make sure I don't cut this line. So I'm gonna take my eraser and I'm gonna erase where my teeth go in. Does that make sense, Sam? See how I have my teeth here? And I erase that line so I make sure I don't cut that when I'm cutting with my scissors. So I'm gonna erase my line. And on this one, I want everyone to try to cut the black and the orange at the same time. If at any time you need to pause the video to catch up or rewind to go back, like, oh, I missed that, I wanna see that again, you can do that. Okay, so now I have my half mouth, I did my teeth, and I erase my lines where my teeth are coming in so I don't cut them off. You could have done any type of mouth. These are other examples. You be creative. You use whatever style you like. And now I'm going to start cutting my mouth. Sam's already cutting his mouth. So I have my black and my orange together, and I'm going to cut them at the same time. I'd like everyone to try it with the mouth. If you were doing a stencil, like using the stencil before, I want you to try to do it using, what's it called? Using the two papers together. And on this one, it might be easier if you cut the pencil line off so you're not erasing. So I'm cutting, and the paper that I'm cutting off has the pencil line on it. Otherwise, that's okay if you don't. You're just gonna have to do a little bit of erasing. How did yours? Ooh, Sammy, nice. I'll show you Sammy's in a second. So I'm cutting my pencil lines off. And then Sam, I'd like you to try adding, I'd like you to add a nose. I'm gonna ask everyone to do a nose. Nice. Okay, and with the nose, you can do the same thing where you put it up here so you see the seam, and then you can draw it out. Okay, I'm cutting my pencil line off. Maybe you didn't do any teeth. That was up to you.
And this is a weird nose.
You're gonna do a weird shaped nose?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you just did a really simple mouth with its mouth open without any teeth. You decide. And then if you have any paper left over, then I think you can do eyebrows if you want. Okay, so I got my mouth, I have my mouth all cut out. I'm gonna separate them. I have my orange on this side, and I'm gonna have to flip it over and get my black on that side. There's my mouth. Ooh, that's a cool looking nose. Okay, so you should have some paper left over if you were using your paper space wisely, and you could do some eyebrows. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna maybe do
I'm gonna just start gluing them on, okay?
Can you, before you start gluing, can you erase the pencil lines carefully? Okay, I'm gonna do some eyebrows. I kind of am enjoying these like triangle ones here, or these slits right here. I think I'll do maybe some simple rectangle, a simple rectangle. So here I go. And I could even just use the edge of this paper. I don't even need a lot of paper. See how I did a rectangle using the edge of the paper? Oops. I'm gonna cut out my eyebrows, and then we are almost ready to start gluing everything on. All right, I cut out my eyebrows. Oops. Oh, how funny. Look, this one ended up being a little bit bigger. I can cut a little bit of the edge off. Okay. So I got some eyebrows, I got my eyes, I got my nose, I have my mouth. Sammy's starting to glue his jack-o'-lantern down. It's looking really cool. I'm gonna take my glue. Where did my glue go? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna take my glue, and I'm gonna just, a little bit of glue goes a long way. I'm gonna start up top. I'm gonna work my way down. That's what Sammy did. He started up top and he's working his way down. I'm gonna have my eyebrows slant. If at any time you need to pause and catch up, go ahead. Otherwise, just start gluing. However you've created your nose. If you've put that off to the side, then go ahead and put that off to the side too. Or are you trying to have him touch it? All right. So it's a mirror image. These are mirror images, each side of the jack-o'-lantern. And we use some geometric shapes. You maybe use some non-geometric shapes. I'm gluing my eyes down. Sammy's onto his nose. We're all going at our own pace. A little bit of glue goes a long way. And we are almost done with this cool Halloween craft.
Last one of Shocktober.
I have my eyes glued down. Make sure that the color's opposite. So you're gluing all your orange onto your black, and you're gluing all your black onto your orange. You're doing your best. This is your best effort. Little bit of glue goes a long, long way. Pause the video when you need to. Okay, I want to be careful here, Sam.
Yeah.
Got to be careful with our mouth. Make sure that it's the mirror image. Look.
Mom, one side's gonna be happy and one side's gonna be...
Got it. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep gluing. We're all doing our very best. All right, I'm gluing my mouth down. Remember, you have to flip it over to the back. I'm going to do that again. Here's my mouth. Flip it over to the back to put the glue down. Sammy's getting some eyebrows going right now.
Well, technically a eyebrow because, you know, we'll see.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be a surprise.
Okay. All right. And I have my mouth glued down. I think I'm good to go. I think I've added all the details I want. I've glued it down onto my, onto the base of the pumpkin. Again, here's some other ideas for you. Here is an example, student sample right here. Sammy's almost done with his, so I'll show you his. Do you want to do anything in the center of your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other details? Are you good?
Yep.
Okay. So here, I'll pop up the iPad so I can see. All right. So here's Sammy's right here. He decided that he wants to have his jack-o'-lantern one side being happy and one side being sad.
Sad? You mean? Yeah. Because it's like Batman, the Two-Face guy. Yeah. Both faces have different personalities.
Yeah.
They also have different hearts, literally.
Okay. I'm loving it. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to say goodbye.
They also have different taste buds.
Yours have different taste buds? Okay. We're going to wrap it up here. We will see you for the next lesson. We hope that you enjoyed this Halloween art craft and that we are excited to see how yours turns out. Here's Sammy's. And make sure you put your name on the back with your pencil and put it in a safe place for it to dry. Hang on a second, Sammy. Put it in a safe place for it to dry so that no siblings and no pets can get to it. Make sure your name is on the back, and please paperclip it to the rest of your art that you have finished so that you can bring it to school, turn it in with your with the rest of your art at the next material pickup date. All right, guys, excellent job. Can't wait to see them.